In this video, we're going to be looking at how you multiply and divide fractions. Now, when we're multiplying fractions, all we need to do is we multiply the numerators and we multiply the denominators. So in this case, I would do 1 times 2 and then 3 times 5. 1 times 2 is 2 and 3 times 5 is 15. So the answer is 2 over 15. Let's do another example. Let's say I have 2 over 7 times by 3 over 6. Now in this example, the numerators are 2 and 3. We multiply 2 times 3 together on the top, and the denominators are 7 times 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 7 times 6 is 42. Now in the previous example, we didn't simplify the fraction down, and that's because we couldn't. But in this case, we can. We can divide the top and bottom by a common factor, in this case 6, and that leaves me with a 1 on the top and 7 on the bottom. So the final answer is 1 over 7. Now you may have noticed something here. The 2 and the 3 gave us a 6. So the 2 and the 3 gives us 6 on the top, and we have a 6 on the bottom. So actually what we could have done, and this is a nice little trick, is we could have just cancelled the 2 and the 3 with the 6. And that would have left me with just 1 over 7. Let's try that again with the cancelling with another example. What's 3 times 2? Well, 3 times 2 is 6. And we've got a 6 on the bottom. So those cancel. You can see as well that we have 25 and 5. So if I divide by 5, that becomes a 1, that becomes a 5. So my final answer in this case is just 5 over 4. If you don't understand that specifically, or you're not that confident, then you can just multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and simplify the fractions as well. That's absolutely fine. But a nice, quick way of doing it when they will simplify is just to cancel common factors from the top and the bottom. Now let's look at division. Let's say we've got 3 over 2 divided by 2 over 5. You may have heard of the acronym keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep the first one, we're going to change the second, and we're going to flip it. So the acronym is KCF. We keep the first fraction, we keep it as 3 over 2. We change the division to be a multiplication, and then we flip the second fraction. Keep, change, flip, KCF. Now I can just do my multiplication as normal. 3 times 5 is 15, 2 times 2 is 4. And of course, if you want to, you can simplify, but you don't have to. You can, in this case, you can make it to a mixed number, which would be 3 3/4. Now let's look at multiplication and division, but this time with mixed numbers. Let's say you had to do 3.5 times 1 1/4. Now what we're going to be doing here is we're going to change the mixed numbers to top-heavy fractions. Don't try and simplify by doing 3 times 1 1/2 times 1/4. It doesn't work. We're going to change these to be top-heavy fractions. 7 over 2 and 5 over 4. Now we can just multiply as before. So I get 7 times 5 is 35, 2 times 4 is 8. And if you want to, of course, you can change it to be a top-heavy fraction as well. 8 times 4 is 32, so I have 4 3/8 remaining. Let's do one final one now with division. 2 1/4 divided by 1 1/3. Again, change them to be top-heavy fractions. So that's 9 over 4, and that is 4 over 3. Remember the acronym KCF, keep, change, flip. We're going to keep this fraction, we're going to change that, and we're going to multiply that. So we keep the first fraction, I get 9 over 4. I change the division to be a multiplication, and I flip the next fraction, 3 over 4. My final answer is 27 over 16, Or if I want to write it as a mixed number, I get 1 and 11/16. So that's how you multiply and divide fractions.